to be parent or teacher-led. Each of our pages are Welcome to this live chat facility tutorial. We have had a lot of questions recently about the chat facility and how to use it, so let's get into the video. The chat facility is built with students in mind, with a tool that doesn't need to be parent or teacher-led. Each of our pages are linked to the person behind the broadcast, even after it's finished, so you can always ask your questions and get a response about the broadcast. So, let's have a look at how to use the chat facility. To use the chat facility, the first thing to do is to type your comment or question into the chat box. You can now enter your screen name. Your screen name will show when you type your question or comment. Now you will see the chat facility ask for your email address. As I mentioned before, each of our pages are linked to people from the organisation who can reply to your questions. You can enter your email address, which will not be shared with anyone, to get a direct response from the people behind the broadcast. If you do not want a direct response, then click the button at the bottom. People behind the broadcast can still respond to you if you don't provide your email address. This just means you may have to come back to the page to check the response. You can now speak to the people behind the broadcast and ask any questions you may have, or check out our partner pages to see the companies we work with who you can speak to right now about their current vacancies. You can also check out our careers page, which connects you to employers. Our live chat service is linked 24/7 to employers from a wide range of sectors, all waiting to hear from you. You can leave a question about how to produce a professional CV or how to prepare for interviews, anything work related, and one of our businesses will respond to you directly. You can also access a wide variety of live interactive broadcasts and video on demand with the live chat support on all pages. Now this bit is for the parents, guardians and teachers. The best bit about the live chat facility is that it is completely moderated, so you don't need to worry if your young person leaves a silly comment, as it will only show on their screen and no one else's. Another great thing about the chat facility is that it is GDPR protected, so no information is shared with anyone else. We will protect all email addresses and will never share personal information of the young people. If you have any questions about the chat facility or the Learn Live channel, please use the email us icon at the top of the page. Thank you, stay safe and stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to the Learn Live channel and today's Safe and Sound broadcast. Safe and Sound is a project set up by Staffordshire Fire and Rescue Service with the aim to support communities to make informed and positive lifestyle choices, improving their health, safety and well-being with some safety tips and tricks. This project runs a variety of interactive and practical workshops for people of all ages and is delivered by multiple partners and agencies such as Staffordshire Safer Roads Partnership, Staffordshire Fire and Rescue Service, Staffordshire Wildlife and Tamworth Borough Council and HMB Training. But first, before we begin, please remember that if you have any questions, please use the live chat facility next to the video player, and that will remain on screen throughout the broadcast. If you leave a question on the chat, one of our speakers will get back to you as soon as possible. And remember, parents, the chat is fully moderated so your children are nice and safe. So now I'll be handing over the rest of the broadcast to Paul Carter. Paul works for Staffordshire Fire and Rescue Service within the Safe and Sound project, and he'll be hosting the rest of the Safe and Sound broadcast. Over to you, Paul.
Thank you, Stuart. Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Safe and Sound. Thank you for your continued support and for all your questions, and of course a special thank you to everyone at Learn Live. We have another packed programme for you, this week including Staffordshire Wildlife, HMV Training, Staffordshire Fire and Rescue Service, Tamworth Borough Council and Staffordshire Safer Roads Partnership. As usual, I'll be asking you a question after each topic and ask that you put your answers in the live chat area of the screen. I'll give you the answers at the end of the programme. So, on your marks, get set, here we go. First to Louise, talking about safety in cars.
Good morning everyone. My name's Louise and I'm from Staffordshire Safer Roads Partnership. Welcome to Safe and Sound. This is the third of our seatbelt safety workshops. If you missed the first two, not to worry, here's a quick recap. In the first week, we looked at a catapult and understood how it worked. And we found out that when we fired the catapult, the missile, our ball, would travel quite a long way. And we understood that that happened because of the forces acting on the ball and the fact that the ball wasn't fixed into the seat here. In our second week, I introduced you to our beanbag family. Here they are. So, our family here are very forgetful, and we did a demonstration where this car travelled down a ramp. At the bottom of the ramp, it stopped very suddenly, it crashed, and we saw what happened to our family who were sitting in the car without their seatbelts on. Here's a reminder of what happened. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Our beanbag family have had some road safety lessons and they now know the importance of wearing seatbelts in the car. So I've already attached them on because it's quite fiddly. Their seatbelts are elastic, but they go across their body in the same way yours would. So across their shoulder, across their hips, and they're fastened by a little peg here. So they're all now safely wearing their seatbelts, and we'll do a demonstration. We've got the car held at the top of the ramp, and we'll do a countdown. Join in if you want. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's have a look more closely what happened to them. If we take the roof off, you might have seen in the slow-mo that their heads and their arms certainly moved forward, but we can see now that they've all stayed sitting in their seats. And if we compare this to the demonstration we did without seatbelts, when they were all thrown forwards and ended up in the footwell and being thrown into each other, it's very different. They'd be much safer travelling like this. Whilst wearing a seatbelt doesn't mean you would walk away from a crash without any injury at all, the chances are any injury would be far less severe if you were wearing your seatbelt. Seatbelts though have to be worn properly. So we're going to go out to a real car and have a look to make sure that you understand how to wear them. Now we're in the car, let's look at how the seatbelt should fit you properly. So the seatbelt should be tight with no slack. It should sit across your hips, not over your tummy. It should sit on your shoulder and not up near your neck. And the belt should have nothing trapping it, so it should move smoothly. There are some very important facts to remember though. First one is this: 135 centimetres. If you are over 135 centimetres tall, then the law says it's fine for you to use an adult seatbelt on its own. The second fact is this one: 12 years old. If you are over 12, then the law says it's fine to use an adult belt on its own. All of you in years 5 and 6 are under 12 years of age, and many of you will be under 135 centimetres. So for the belt to fit you properly, you have to use something else, a child car seat. We're going to have a look at one of those now. If you are under 135 centimetres and under 12 years old, then you should be using a seat like this to make sure that the adult belt fits you properly and helps to keep you safe. So you can see on this seat, these red sections hold the adult belt in the correct place. So over your hips and over your shoulder. It's really easy to remember to wear your seatbelt whenever you get into a car, if you make it the first thing that you do every time when you get in. To finish, let's recap over the main points. If you travel in a vehicle and you're not wearing a seatbelt, you could be catapulted forward if that vehicle stops suddenly. This could injure you and injure other people in the vehicle. Wearing your seatbelt helps you to stay safe in the vehicle, but you must wear it properly. If you're under 12 years old or under 135 centimetres, you must use a car seat to make sure the seatbelt fits you. Thank you for watching the seatbelt safety session. Keep on travelling safely and remember to wear your seatbelt.
Thank you, Louise. Louise's question is, you must be over what age or what height to use an adult seatbelt on its own? Now it's over to Jane, one of our brilliant fire service volunteers, talking about fire safety in the home.
Hello everyone. I'm going to talk to you about the smoke alarm. These are your standard smoke alarms that the fire service issue now. They last for about 10 years. You'll see a date on the back that says how long they're going to last for. You always need to check that. These don't need batteries. These are the new ones that don't actually need the batteries. Now I'm going to show you how to test the alarm. You press the centre here. Okay, you can hear that's quite a loud noise, and that should wake the whole family. You should hear that alarm, and you should test that alarm once a week. Now, one of the things that you could do to help everybody, to remind you to test it once a week, is you could actually put a sign on your dustbin, on your green bin and your blue bin, to remind you or your parents to actually test the alarm once a week. I have some 4 key messages here. If there should be a fire, get out, stay out. 2, learn your postcode, because that will help the fire service locate you even quicker once you've dialed 999. Test your smoke alarm at least once a week and make a plan with your family in case of a fire, as seen in series 4 of these programmes. Don't forget those 4 key messages and keep your family safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Jane. Lots of useful safety information there. Jane's question is, how often should you test your smoke alarms? Next, over to Heather, talking about CPR.
Hi everybody, Heather here from HMB Training Services. This week we're going to go through CPR. So if you haven't got your teddy to practice on, go upstairs and go and run and get it quickly. Yeah, do it very quickly. So while you go and fetch your teddy, hopefully you're very quick and you don't miss anything further. So on the first session we went through unconsciousness and through Doctor's ABC. If you refer back to that first video, it's at the right at the bottom on this link. If you go through there, you just refresh what you would do if somebody's unconscious. Today we're going to go through CPR, which is unconscious but not breathing. Okay. When we went through, don't forget my letters. So feel free to write a comment for the answer. So we need to check the area. I'm not going to get hurt any further, and I'm going to protect my casualty. So we are checking for danger. Very important to check the area that there's no further damage to me or the casualty or the first aider. Once we check the area, then we can check to see if he's awake. So tapping him, talking to either side and making sure he's not responding or making any noise. We can ask him something. Can you open your eyes? Can you wiggle your fingers? Okay, so we are checking their response. Once we've done the response, what we are going to do next, well, his colour is not very good, he's very pale, he's got blue lips, indication that he's not breathing, so we need some help quite quickly. So it's important to shout for help. Once we shouted for help, we can then check the airway, okay? By doing the airway, all we do, forehead and chin, lean back. Once the airway is open, and we're checking, by the way, if there's nothing in there that could have choked. So if there's anything in there, try and get rid of it. By doing that, we can sit them to the side, put our 2 fingers and scoop away. If there's nothing in there, the airway is literally open. So we can then check for the next one, which is breathing. So to check for breathing, I'll get on my knees, best way. So just check for breathing, forehead and chin back. Listening in our ear, looking down to see if the chest is moving, and then we're listening in our ear and feeling on our cheek any breaths. We do that for 10 seconds, okay? Then we know that not breathing, and then the C means circulation, or it can mean compressions, or it can mean CPR. Either way, we know that there's no circulation, they're very pale, very grey, blue lips. We know they're not breathing because the chest is not rising. We check for those breaths within those 10 seconds, and we know that they're not breathing. So then we do circulation. Okay, I'm going to give you 5 tips, very 5 easy tips. I know it's hard because you haven't got a mannequin, but at least you still got your teddy bear. Okay, so what we need to do is get in a good position. Our legs are in line and our hips are in line with the body. So if the body's down here, it's no good because I'm going to be stretching. So make sure that they're in line. Comfortable, enough gap between you and your teddy bear. Then what we are going to do, in the middle of their chest, their sternum, is where we're going to place our hands. We're going to use the heel of our hand in the middle of their chest. Okay? So we're comfortable, heel on the chest, and interlocked our hands, which pulls our hands forward. So we're actually using that palm, the heel on our hand. So we've done that. That's a good secure one. We're not bending our arms, by the way, we're keeping them straight. Tip number 3, I need to lean forward. Okay, so if I just tilt myself around, heel on my hat on the chest, tilt forward. What that does, I'm using my back weight, I'm not using my arms. If I'm back here, I'm using my arms. If I lean forward, I can use the weight on my back, which will help me. Okay, and then tip number 4 and 5 is make sure that we go deep enough and fast enough. We want to try and do 2 compressions per second. That's quite fast. So if I'm doing it this fast, it's too slow. If I'm doing it this fast, that's more like 4 beats per second, which is not very good. So what we want to try and do is make sure that we're in the right rhythm. So 1 and 2 and 3, or 1 and 2 and 3. Good song to sing is Twinkle Star. They usually say Staying Alive. Do anybody of you know that knows Staying Alive? Ha, 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 Staying Alive. So the one that you would know is Twinkle Star. So twinkle, twinkle, little star, how you've got Baby Shark. So you can use the method of Baby Shark, okay? And we keep on going, doing our compressions until the ambulance arrive. Now, no doubt I've probably got a question saying, Heather, isn't it 30 compressions and then 2 breaths? Don't we do breaths? Yes, we do breaths. If you're happy to do so and you're confident enough and you've learnt this at Scouts or at school or lifeguarding or somewhere else and about in an event, and you're happy to do it, you can do breaths. So what we do teach, see if I can, there we go. So 30 compressions, and I'll show you how to do 2 breaths. So how to do CPR correctly is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15, 20, that's my 30. Hope you can do that as well if you want to at the same time. Head back, pinch the nose, make a complete seal around the head, the mouth, and you'll see the chest rise. We do 2. 1, and that's 2, okay? And then we continue doing our 30 compressions, okay? Hope you're joining in. You can if you want to on your teddy bear.
Habitats along the railway of nearly 1,800 miles just in the Western Route. So you can imagine along there we come across a lot of different flora and fauna. Very usually we find great crested newts in our drains or snakes in our troughs for the cables. In our hedgerows we'll get dormice or birds, and also, as I say, got lots of butterflies and the grassland habitats as well. But it's not just about the animals. Along the Avon Gorge in Bristol lies one of the rarest species of white beam trees in Europe. It doesn't grow anywhere else other than on our land and has evolved from trees around it. So it's pretty special. And as such, we have quite strict plan to manage it, as we do for 27 of the other specially protected habitats that we operate the railway through. Going forward,
if you've got that physical cash rather than just paying on your card, on your contactless, because everyone's bad for it when they nip to Starbucks and they go for one coffee and they get the pastry and the donut to go with it. So actually, if a recession does hit, you know, people are going to be using cash a lot more, and that means our volumes increase. So if it does happen, we're thinking that for us as a business, that is going to be beneficial. We're already starting to see our cash volumes increase, you know, as different shops have started to open, particularly garden centres. Garden centres opened, everyone's getting there, buying all the garden stuff, doing all the gardening up and spending lots and lots of money and actually a lot of cash. So we're starting to see that increase already. So we're hopeful for the future of Voltex and what that means for us, and we're still really positive. So long term, I think we'll be okay.
Thank you to the team at Voltex. Don't forget to use the live chat facility to ask your questions and check out the resources tab below this video player for more information. We'll see you back here at 1 PM to hear from Charlie at More Than a Face. See you then.
people try and get you to click on it to get your personal information, and they might be able to hack into your accounts and find out lots of things about you. Okay, so don't click on anything that pops up. Right, the third thing we need to talk about is something called griefing. Now, what that actually means is players that go online and play games like Roblox and deliberately just cause problems for other players. So that might be deliberately killing them, deliberately trying to disrupt their game, deliberately trying to steal things, but deliberately trying to set traps, all sorts of things like that, just to annoy the person. And if that carries on for a while, over a period of time, that can be classed as cyberbullying, and it's not very nice at all. Because let's face it, people spend a lot of time making these games, creating the worlds, etc. And it's really not fair if you've got people coming on trying to cause trouble and cause problems. So if this ever does happen to you, you need to tell somebody as soon as possible, maybe delete the person, and you can report them as well. Okay, but please never get involved in griefing. It's not a very nice thing to do, and it can really be upsetting. And the final part of Roblox safety I just want to briefly talk about today is quite simple. It's all to do with payments, okay, because obviously there are a lot of in-app purchases that you can do whilst playing Roblox, and all I want to simply remind you is, obviously, if you want to purchase something or get further on into a game, you need to ask a parent's permission first. Okay, if mum or dad, or whoever looks after you, says that's fine, absolutely no problem with that at all, but please make sure that they are okay with it, because we have had cases where people have gone online and bought things without parents knowing, and obviously that can cause problems. So if you're going to make an in-app purchase, just make sure mum or dad, whoever looks after you, are okay with it. Okay, well, thank you for watching again. Next week we're going to be talking about Instagram, which is a very popular app, as you all know. Right at the end of this clip, there is another safety leaflet all about Roblox that you can download by going on to safertamworth.org. See you next week. Take care and stay safe.
Thank you, Andrew. The question is, what is griefing? And finally, we go over to Francesca from Staffordshire Wildlife to talk to us about natural art. Our thanks go to Children in Need organisation for their help producing this video.
Hello, my name's Francesca and I work for Staffordshire Wildlife. Now today I'm going to show you how to make a collage. A collage is a piece of art and you make it using different materials. Some people use photographs, could use paper or even fabric. But what I'm going to show you is how to make a natural collage. I'm going to use leaves and flowers. So, are you ready? Let's get started. So when you've collected your leaves and flowers, you can start to arrange them in the book. If you don't have a book, you can use sheets of paper. And just remember to put something heavy over the sheets to make sure that they're properly pressed. Then finally, leave for a couple of days till you're ready for the big reveal. So here are all the leaves and flowers. Now, a piece of paper, some pens and some glue is all you'll need. Just do a bit of wild art and then just arrange your flowers and leaves wherever you'd like them on the page. And when you're ready, then you can start sticking. So here I'm just using little bits of flowers and leaves and then moving them all over the page till I'm ready. So now I'm going to do the butterfly's antennae, and I'm going to make a nice little body there, and this is going to be my dragonfly. There we go, just sticking that nice lovely leaf down, and that's going to be the final dragonfly wing. Now, who's this little fella? I just think he looked a little bit like a hedgehog. Yes, I'm going to give him little feet here, and then I'm going to put some nice little spines on him. Whatever happens, enjoy yourself, have a bit of fun. So that's my collage done. Now it's your turn. Good luck. And don't forget, check out our website for lots of other activities that you can get involved in. Bye for now.
Thank you, Francesca. Really good. The question is, Francesca created 3 creatures, a butterfly, a dragonfly, and what else? Thank you very much to all our presenters today. As promised, the answers to the questions are seatbelts, you have to be over 12 years old or 135 centimetres tall. Testing smoke alarms once a week. Tunes, Staying Alive or Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Griefing is when somebody purposely upsets anyone playing a game during that game, and it can be classed as a type of cyberbullying. Francesca's question, the creature was a hedgehog. So, thank you to all our presenters this week. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and take care.
Thank you, Paul, for hosting this extremely important broadcast today. And like Paul said, there'll be more of these broadcasts coming up over the next few weeks, so please keep watching. I just want to say another thank you to all the speakers from Staffordshire Safer Roads Partnership, Staffordshire Fire and Rescue Service, Staffordshire Wildlife, Tamborough Borough Council and HMB Training. The tips that you've given today are so valuable to know, so thank you. And as Paul said, if you have any questions for our speakers today, please leave them in the live chat facility next to the video player and they'll get back to you as soon as possible. So that's it from today for Safe and Sound on the Learn Live channel. We will see you next week as we have more speakers from Staffordshire Fire and Rescue partners and agencies. You won't want to miss it. Bye for now and stay safe.
Negeseuon diogelwch allweddol a gweithgareddau dysgu o adref. Mae negeseuon hyn yn bwysig iawn, felly rhowch sylw manwl a rannwch y neges i deulu a'ch ffrindiau i cadw'n ddiogel hefyd. Byddwn yn clywed gwerth STEM gan ein cydweithwyr a'i swyddi ar yr rwydwaith reilffyrdd, ac yna cyfres o straeon You vs Train, ac i orffen gyda fideo iechyd meddwl i sicrhau eich bod chi'n gadw'n ddiogel mewn amrywiaeth o ffyrdd. Os oes gennych unrhyw cwestiynau trwy gydol y darllediad hwn heddiw, gadewch nhw yn y cyfleuster sgwrsio wrth ymyl y chwarae o fideo a byddent yn cysylltu â chi cyn gyntaf â phosib. Felly, i ddechrau ein darllediad, byddwn yn clywed gan David Griffiths, ceidwad croesfannau gyda Network Rail, gan y bydd yn dweud popeth wrthym am ei rôl o fewn STEM. Draw i David.
Bore da, fy enw i ydy David Griffith. Dwi'n gweithio i Network Rail ers 26 o flynyddoedd. Dwi ar y funud yn sefyll ar groesfan yn ardal Porthmadog. Mae'r croesfan yma'n cael ei gweithio ac yn hysbysu i chi bod yna dren yn dŵad trwy roi gola oren. Ar ôl y gora oren fydd o'n newid i ola coch, ddangos perygl. Yna fydd y barriers yn dod i lawr a ar ôl i'r barriers dod i lawr fydd y gyrrwr y tren yn cael gola i ddangos iddo fo bod ti'n saff iddo fo barhau dros y cledra. Unwaith fydd hynna wedi digwydd fydd o'n clirio'r crossing digon pell, fydd y barriers yn dod i'n ôl i fyny a gweithio yn caniatáu chi barhau dros y groesfran. Nid ydy tracia tren ar ardal ddim yn le i chi chwarae. Os da chi'n gweld niwed i'r ffens neu rhywbeth sydd a da chi'n meddwl, a ni'n hwyl i mynd i chwarae, dydyn nhw ddim yn le i chwarae, dydyn nhw ddim yn le saff, a da chi eisiau angen bod yn saff. So cadwch yn ddiogel a cadwch yn saff, ac yn ddigon clir o wrth y cledra. Os di drifa'r tren yn gweld plant yn chwarae ar y cledra, mae o'n upsetio nhw, dydyn nhw ddim yn meddwl pam sa chi eisiau chwarae. Mae yna barcia, mae yna lamoroedd, mae yna llwybrau cyhoeddus, llwybrau beic, ddigon o lefydd i chwarae, ond cadwch yn saff a cadwch yn glir o wrth y groesfan. O wrth y cledra, rhywbeth i wneud efo'r rheilffordd, mae o yn berygl. So, gwachwch ar ôl eich hunan a cadwch yn saff. Diolch yn fawr iawn.
Diolch i chi, David, am y wybodaeth pwysig a roesoch am eich rôl a sut i fod yn ddiogel ar y reilffordd gyda'r pwyntiau hynny. Gobeithio gwnaethoch chi gyd dysgu rhywbeth heddiw a rannwch y pwyntiau allweddol ydych chi wedi dysgu gyda'ch ffrindiau a'ch teulu. Os oes gennych unrhyw gwestiynau David, gadewch nhw yn y cyfleuster sgwrsio wrth ymyl y chwarae o'r fideo a bydd yn cysylltu â chi cyn gyntaf â phosib. Nawr, bydd y cyfres o fideos rydw i ar fin ei dangos i chi yn dweud ac yn dangos straeon pobl go iawn i chi, a sut y gallai'r hyn a ddigwyddodd iddyn nhw effeithio nid yn unig arnyn nhw eu hunain, ond ar y pobl o'i cwmpas. Gadewch i ni cael golwg.
Oh no! He gives it away! Oh. Is anyone there? Come on, go over! Right, give me a leg up. Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah.
Come on, Tom. Come on.
Oh, go on, Lloyd. Go on, Tommy boy.
Oh, come on, Tom.
Come on, Tom. Go on, Tom. Come on. Tom! Can I get your t-shirt over?
Can I come? Tom, I'm his mum.
I just remember looking round and seeing Sam trip. All I can remember is looking in her eyes when she was gasping. I was giving Sam CPR for so long, I just got so tired, I was exhausted. Every time between breaths I was screaming for help. Yeah, sorry mate.
Hi, my name is Bruce Sellers. I'm the Signalling Incident Engineer for Network Rail in the west of England. My job involves managing safety compliance, but I also have an additional voluntary role of being a mental health first aider in the workplace. A rewarding role, never more so than now with coronavirus impacting on everybody's already busy and hectic lives. Mental health is a key part of everyone's well-being, and Network Rail are very keen to support their staff, which is good in this day and age. A mental health first aider really does what it says on the tin. Our training allows us to give confidential support and guidance in an entirely non-judgmental manner. That could be as simple and straightforward as being a listening ear for a colleague or a friend, or it could even be perhaps pointing somebody in the direction of professional help and support. If you may be finding life difficult at the moment for whatever reason, there is always help, support and advice out there. Just look online for mental health and you'll see you are not alone. Take care out there.
Diolch Bruce am ddweud wrth i mi gyd am ba mor bwysig yw iechyd meddwl yn yr amseroedd hyn a'r help a'r cyngor sydd ar gael. Nid oes unrhyw un ar ei ben ei hun, felly cofiwch estyn allan a siarad â rhywun a rannwch y neges gyda'ch ffrindiau a'ch teulu. Os oes gennych unrhyw cwestiynau David neu Bruce, gadewch nhw yn y cyfleuster sgwrsio wrth ymyl y chwaraewr fideo a bydd yn cysylltu â chi cyn gyntaf â phosib. Wel, dyna'r cyfar ar gyfer ein sgwrsio Gelwch Rail ffyrdd heddiw, ond byddwn ni nôl wythnos nesaf am 9:40. Bydd gennym Louise Bungay Asman sy'n periannydd asedau strwythur i Network Rail. Bydd hi'n siarad â ni am ei rôl a bydd hyd yn oed yn gwneud arbrawf gyda siocled. Chi ddim eisiau colli hwnna. Daliwch chi edrych ar sianel Learn Live i gael mwy o ddarllediadau Cymraeg. Ond, cyn i fi fynd, mae gennym Chris sy'n arbenigwr amgylchedd o Network Rail wrth iddo ddweud popeth wrthym am ddiwrnod amgylchedd y byd ar y 5 o Fehefin a sut y gallwn nhw cymryd rhan. Draw i Chris.
Hello everyone, my name's Chris Gaylard. I'm an environment specialist at Network Rail. I'm here to talk to you about World Environment Day and what we at Network Rail do to protect and enhance the environment. So a bit about myself, I cover the western route with the Network Rail. So that's an area between London, Paddington and Penzance, and from Castle Cary up to Oxford and Worcester. My role is very varied and no 2 days are the same. And I can cover absolutely anything to do with the environment that you can think of. I love being an environment professionalist because I know that what I do makes a difference to the environment and society. I basically help people and teams and guide them to consider how our actions can improve and impact the environment, and also review our footprint and our resilience to kind of pressing environmental challenges like climate change and extreme weather or biodiversity loss. So the railway itself actually has a major part to play in climate change. And through operating an efficient railway, we can ensure that people and services get from A to B. And we also help with connecting communities and businesses and reduce the number of vehicles on our roads. So with that, Network Rail is looking at more efficient power to transport the railway and the trains. We're also looking at more renewable technologies to power our infrastructure and operations that help us get there. This, in turn, with other measures, will ensure that the railway is a truly sustainable and green method of transportation. Today, we are talking about World Environment Day, and that theme this year is biodiversity. So I'm actually out here on site to monitor recent works undertaken to enhance the habitat for large blue butterflies. For those that don't know, the large blue butterfly was actually nearly extinct in the UK in the 1970s, but with thanks from conservation efforts, it's actually quite thriving in areas, including on our land. So we're happy to say that down here, we have one of the largest density populations of large blues in Europe. And that's no thanks really to help from collaborative works of other stakeholders involved. But I mean, it's not just confined to one area or one embankment or cutting. We can actually trace the spread of the population of butterflies along the railway as it acts as one big network for connecting biodiversity. In theory, a badger could technically walk from Penzance in Cornwall all the way up to Thurso in Scotland if it wanted to, and it would be relatively safe and undisturbed as well. In line with other efforts of biodiversity, we also, along the Western Route, manage it to our company standards and legislation. We operate through a variety of different habitats along the railway of nearly 1,800 miles just in the Western Route. So you can imagine along there we come across a lot of different flora and fauna. Very usually we find great crested newts in our drains or snakes in our troughs for the cables. In our hedgerows we'll get dormice or birds, and also, as I say, got lots of butterflies and the grassland habitats as well. But it's not just about the animals. Along the Avon Gorge in Bristol lies one of the rarest species of white beam trees in Europe. It doesn't grow anywhere else other than on our land and has evolved from trees around it, so it's pretty special. And as such, we have quite strict plan to manage it, as we do for 27 of the other specially protected habitats that we operate the railway through. Going forward, Network Rail is always adapting, and we have quite grand plans to improve our stewardship. We're looking at collaborating with neighbours to protect and enhance nature and the environment, and also look at that as the wider landscape connecting to those around us. If you do want to learn more about how we manage the environment, you can visit our website. And to coincide with World Environment Day, our central functions have developed two nice interactive tools titled Caring for the Environment. So from Friday, 5th of June, World Environment Day, there will be an activity book for ages 4 and above, and also an online game from those 11 and up. And you'll be able to find that information on our social media from Friday. And I hope you do find those interesting. But before I go, I actually want to leave you with some little tips. I want you to remember that there is no planet B, so we have to care for the one planet that we do have. If you want to find out more on what to do yourself, I would actually say that you should have a go at the online carbon footprint calculators. Just search for it online. There are many different forms. And find out as a family how your environmental credentials stack up and where you can make a positive change in the way that you live. But that's it from me. I hope you have a great World Environment Day, and don't just let it be one day, let it carry on forever. And stay safe. Thank you very much. Bye.